If you have an idea that you genuinely think is good, don't let some idiot talk you out of it. If there is something that you feel is good, something you want to do, something that means something to you, try to do it. Because I think you can only do your best work if you're doing what you want to do, and if you're doing it the way you think it should be done. And if you can take pride in it after you've done it, no matter what it is, you can look at it and say, I did that, and I think it's pretty damn good.
Hello, my name is Cristian Mier, and I am a varsity wrestler at Paloma Valley High School. This will be my senior year. When preparing for competition, I typically exercise, work extra cardio. That's really helpful for getting ready and all those shenanigans. And just lots and lots of practice, watching film, drilling moves. Honestly, wrestling is probably the most pressure you'll ever feel. It's exhilarating, it's exciting, and it's hard when you let your team down, when all of your other teammates have scored all those points and you're just like not wanting to be the guy who lets the other team get some points for the final score on like a duel, or letting your teammates down by not making it to the next day of the competition. I feel like I bring a lot of laughs and a lot of joy, because honestly, it's really miserable, but it gets a lot better once you have friends and you're all just messing around, just trying to make it to the end of a 3-hour practice. I don't typically have a lot of bad blood with other opponents. I do research them if they beat me in the past, and I study them so I can have a better chance at winning the next time, but I typically don't hold grudges. I was about 8 years into jiu-jitsu at the time, and my jiu-jitsu coach told me that it would probably be a good idea if I joined wrestling, just to get my jiu-jitsu better. Well, at first I didn't see wrestling as that big of a deal until I really got into it. It's really intense, it's tiring, it's way different than jiu-jitsu, and I really kind of just stuck with it because of like how much of a better person and grappler I've become. Honestly, not a lot's going through my mind. I kind of just let loose and let the muscle memory control me. It's really easy to get discouraged if you're paying attention to the other opponent and like seeing them warm up, because everyone's got that like little subconscious voice in the head, oh, that person's stronger than me, I'm gonna get beat up, or all those kind of things. So I typically just kind of get in the zone and do a little like pre-match ritual where I kind of just like touch the mat and just get ready to blow. It is my last year and I want to make it count. It just depends how well I do, if I get scholarships to help me pay for my school and all those other shenanigans, but as of right now, it's kind of up in the air. Thank you.
Coach Robles. I'm the head wrestling coach at Paloma Valley High School. It was a pretty historic season on both sides for boys and girls. Our boys were 6-time league champs. Our girls were league champs for the first time in a few years. But our girls were 3-peat CIF champions, as well as our boys were 3rd time they were CIF runner-ups. What we try to do is instill just all good traits that matter for life in general, but we do have the traits with our wrestlers of being honest, hardworking, lots of integrity, and toughness. I think that's one thing that we take pride in here at the school and just in the area, is that our kids are very, very tough. And I think tough is a general word, but the toughness we look to instill and the toughness I think our kids do give out is we're just tough in every situation. That could mean, being meaner than our opponents on the mat. It also just means battling through tough situations, whether it's personal or sports related. We're just tough. Like, I think our kids are tough. I think the coaches are tough. And I think that's what we work to instill most importantly of everything that we do. The way I sell it and promote it, when I try to recruit new kids, is literally just have a pulse and want to work hard at something. That's what we do when we recruit. I think to stay in the program and be a varsity level wrestler, it takes a lot. It takes commitment, most importantly. Like, you have to be committed. You can't be in our program if you're gonna miss a lot. You know, if you miss, you won't make varsity or you'll be cut. It takes being honest, because we're gonna always question everything you do and we want you to be honest about it. And you just have to work hard. But just to be in the program, to try to join, it just, like, you just have to want to try something new and try to work hard. And if you don't know what the sport is, if you don't know what hard work is, I think we have good enough coaches that we can teach that to anybody, but then that individual has to want it. They can't just show up and want to be on a team and not work for it. I mean, honestly, when I got into coaching, I just like fell into it. My high school wrestling coach was going through a tough time, and he just needed somebody to be there every day because he couldn't be there every day anymore. I was really young. So when I first got into it, I literally just did it because I loved wrestling. And I feel that now that I'm doing it still 18 years later, I just like love wrestling. So like that, nothing really changed, and that's my method, is I love wrestling. And then what I've learned is that I love getting the most out of my kids. So honestly, my method is I love wrestling and I love the kids that I coach for. So like, everything revolves around that. There's a lot of things we've picked up along the way as a coaching staff. So, you know, we push toughness, like I mentioned earlier, we push commitment. But in the end, we always talk about what's best for our kids individually, and does this revolve around love, like loving the sport, loving each other as far as, you know, supporting each other. I think that's the main basis for it. And if it doesn't revolve around that, then we make adjustments every single year, every day, every practice, whatever. But that's what got me into coaching, and that's still what I try to, you know, always remember. I think for me, more the question to answer is what kept inspiring me to coach, because I really did just coach on a whim that first year, and I was so young that I had no idea what I was doing or if that was going to be me long term. But now that I'm still doing it 18 years later, I think what's kept inspiring me, honestly, has just been the kids that I coach for. I never really planned to be coaching this long or doing it this long. And at this moment, I think I'm going to be doing it for another minimum 18 more years. And what inspires me is the kids that I've been coaching so far.